Time to meet the gun that asks questions first and shoots later. This week on Click, we'll find out why there's so much controversy over this, the smart gun that only lets its owner fire it. Imagine being able to print your own body parts. We meet the people closest to 3D printing people. Can this teach nurses a better bedside manner? Well, we'll spend a day with the tech encouraging us to show more empathy. And in Webscape, some healthy options that we can all make use of. Welcome to Click. I'm Spencer Kelly. Many of the products that we use every day have acquired the term smart, thanks to the addition of new technology, from smart fabrics which react to their environment to smartphones, which are of course pocket computers. But adding the word smart to firearms, well, that's bound to cause controversy. Mark Chislak has travelled to Germany to discover the story behind the smart gun.
The IP-1 is a .22 caliber handgun, which differs in a major way from other firearms. This is a 21st century handgun. As a result, it contains 21st century technology. Inside it is a radio frequency identification, or RFID chip. That communicates with this watch. If the watch is more than 40 centimetres away from the gun simply won't fire. This system has been designed by German company Armatix as a safety feature.
First of all, only the gun owner himself is able to use the gun. If the gun is lost or stolen, nobody else can use the gun. Or in case of a policeman, if this policeman gets involved in a fist fight and somebody takes away or snatches his gun, this particular bad guy can aim at the policeman, but he will not be able to shoot at the policeman.
The watch is activated via a PIN code like a mobile phone. It can be programmed to limit the duration of time that it allows the gun to fire, a time-controlled safety catch if you like. A colour-coded LED on the back of the gun displays its condition.
The gun indicates with a blue light that the magazine is still missing. I'm going to load it now, and it shows with a red light that the watch is requested. Once the watch is inside this 40 centimeter range, it switches to green mode, and I can shoot the gun.
I'm invited to try out a separate add-on which can be plugged into the IP-1. It will only allow the gun to fire if it's pointed in a particular direction. The target at the end of the range is marked by infrared, and the gun will only fire when pointed at this marker. So, technology which has been designed to make this particular firearm safer. But in the United States, one of the largest markets for guns in the world, it's this very technology which has proved controversial. When news of the IP-1's introduction into America spread, an online backlash followed. Gun stores suspected of considering selling the pistol, and the CEO of Armatix's American division reportedly received phone and email threats. The result, gun stores and clubs insisted they wouldn't be stocking the IP-1. US gun safety advocates have a different attitude, though.
You hear about almost every single day here in the United States about a child being accidentally shot either by a playmate, or they're curious, they find a gun that is under a pillow or on a nightstand, or they commit suicide. Young people will know where guns are if they're depressed. So lots of deaths occur because guns don't have safety features, and they're not secured or locked away properly by gun owners. So if you had smart guns, then this would prevent a lot of these gun deaths.
Ironically, it could be a law introduced as a gun control measure, which is stalling sales of this kind of technology. In 2002, the state of New Jersey passed a law which requires that once a smart gun goes on sale anywhere in the US, all guns sold in New Jersey must be smart guns within 3 years. This has some members of the pro-gun lobby concerned about the possibility of future electronic curbs or restrictions to firearms. We approached the National Shooting Sports Foundation in America for comment on smart gun technology. They declined our interview request, but they did send us this statement.
The firearms industry does not oppose the development of smart gun technology. We do oppose any government mandate of this technology, however. One size does not fit all. The marketplace should decide.
We also approached the National Rifle Association. We're still awaiting a response.
I think Americans recognize the common sense in making a product as lethal as a gun smarter or safer. It's really about safety. It's about public health and consumer safety. And, you know, I believe guns should be regulated by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Why should they be excluded?
Recently, the state senator who sponsored New Jersey's smart gun law has offered to repeal it if the pro-gun lobby changes its stance on the technology. For now, a standoff remains. Meanwhile, Armatix has a variety of firearms safety products in the offing, including barrel locks and gun cabinets that require a PIN code.
Using fingerprint technology, owners can unlock their gun in under a second when they need it.
Over in the United States itself, a company called Sentinel has a biometric scanning gun lock in the works, while Kodiak Industries has adapted similar technology to create a personalised pistol identification system. So the technology's on its way, but its path to adoption in America still seems a long way from hitting the target.
Mark Chislak reporting. Your thoughts on this would be very welcome, and I'm sure there will be many of them coming our way. Email click@bbc.co.uk please, or tweet us at BBC Click. And next up, a look at this week's tech news.
eBay is making its users change their passwords after hackers compromised one of its databases. The company said no financial data has been revealed. However, information including names, encrypted passwords, dates of birth and physical addresses have been accessed. The attackers managed to get in through a spear phishing attack directed at some eBay employees. The company has urged users to change their login details on any sites where they use the same password. China's government has said it will not be using Windows 8 on its new computers. It claims the decision was based on Microsoft no longer offering support for the older Windows XP operating system. So it's unlikely they'll be first in the queue to buy the newly unveiled Surface Pro 3 in that case. Microsoft hopes its latest tablet with 12-inch touchscreen and keyboard lid will compete with laptops rather than tablets when it's launched this summer. There's been more friction between the US and China after the Americans accused 5 Chinese army officers of economic cyber espionage. America says the officers stole trade secrets and internal documents from 5 companies and a labour union. The indictments filed at a US district court are the first criminal hacking charge the US has filed against specific foreign officials. China has issued a statement denying the charges. And finally, Google has warned users of its Glass specs not to use them for long periods of time, as they could cause eye pain. The company said the tech wasn't designed for Friday night movie marathons or for reading Tolstoy's famously lengthy War and Peace. Because of the position of the screen, users can spend a lot of time looking upwards, a movement that most of us aren't used to and can cause eye strain.
We've talked a lot on Click about 3D printing, everything from food to guns. But what if one day you could print yourself a replacement arm? Well, Jen Koopstake has been to Holland, where one university hospital has been experimenting in the field of 3D bioprinting.
Stem cells are one of our body's basic building blocks. They have the potential to transform into any other type of cell that the body is built from. That's everything from individual blood cells to the complex cell structures that make up entire organs. Here at the University Medical Centre Utrecht, they are experimenting using stem cells in 3D bioprinting.
Building hydrogel strands, bottom up, so layer by layer.
And one day hope to print replacement body parts. This printer works the same way as the ones we've seen in manufacturing. It deposits biological material layer by layer, but there are some significant differences.
When we look at printing metals or printing plastics, there's high temperatures involved, there's lasers involved, and there can even be organic solvents involved. And we have to distract that all out of the bioprinting process. So we have to redesign the whole process. And therefore we use an environment which is more like the human body, based on predominantly water. And at a temperature which is very close to body temperature.
We can see which cell is where.
Bioprinting uses a specially designed bio-ink, made of living cell mixtures. The cells are taken from patient biopsies or stem cells. A layer of water-based gel is printed between each layer of bio-ink.
We combine strong biomaterials, degradable plastics, that have been approved for medical use, and we integrate that in our printing process. And therefore you get like reinforced concrete.
One of the main challenges to bioprinting is creating vascular systems to supply blood to tissue. A focus now is on creating tissue-like structures to test toxicity of drugs or medical advancements without having to use people as guinea pigs. In the future, 3D bioprinted skin and replacements for damaged or diseased body parts may become reality. But right now, innovations in medical technology using traditional 3D printing continue. UMC Utrecht was also the first hospital in the world to implant a 3D printed skull. This operation happened earlier this year and the patient is recovering well. Another innovation from the University of Wollongong in Australia is this biopen, which allows surgeons to deliver live cells directly onto a patient's injury. Later this year, an experimental tissue lab is opening in Utrecht, and the university will offer the world's first joint degree program in biofabrication. It will teach technical skills, but also address ethical issues in this field.
You really need to bring in very good evidence and bring in things like research integrity. This is a very, to say so, fancy field everyone likes, but we need to be careful that we realize we are doing the correct steps and we are not overhyping something without the proper evidence.
We actually have the printer right here.
Back in a 2011 TED Talk, many people were impressed when Dr. Anthony Atala showed off the first 3D bioprinted kidney.
Here it is. You can actually see that kidney as it was printed earlier today.
But despite the showcase, this prototype kidney neither works nor can be implanted, and that's what researchers around the world are focused on, making bioprinted organs and limbs that surgeons can actually use.
The one and only Jen Koopsteek in Holland. That being said, we've now got 3 spares back in the office. Now, until you can print yourself a better body, it's best to keep the one that you've got in tip-top condition. These days, there are plenty of wearable bits and bobs that monitor your statistics, like heart rate or temperature. But one new device that's come to our attention wants to feel you breathe. Why? Well, to measure your metabolic rate, of course. Tell the accompanying app your age and weight, something I've been assured they're going to blur out before broadcast. Eat a meal to get your body working, and then you're ready to go. So you breathe through the mouthpiece for about a minute, and this thing will send data to your smartphone or your tablet over Bluetooth, and you can see the results on the app. The only thing you have to make sure is that no air escapes from your nose. So the pinnacle of my broadcasting career starts now. By measuring how much oxygen has been turned into carbon dioxide in your breath, Breezing can work out how fast or slow your metabolism is, which is crucial if you want to watch your weight, because it tells you how many calories you personally should consume each day. To get an accurate result, you also have to take a resting measurement, which I was more than happy to provide. You also get to find out what types of food your body is burning energy from, whether it's carbohydrates, fat, or a mixture of both, so you can alter your diet accordingly. So, is this the perfect way to lose weight? Well, launching this summer at a price of £200, I wouldn't hold your breath. One thing technology is often criticised for is its lack of emotional intelligence. It misses that human touch. And that's really important when it comes to healthcare. Well, at one British university, augmented reality is being used to add emotions. It's teaching trainee nurses to be more empathetic. Lara Lewington has been finding out more.
Have you got any pain at the moment?
It comes and goes.
Right.
In a profession like nursing, care and compassion are key. The training here at Sheffield Hallam is split between helping on real wards and study sessions often spent with this chap, known as Sim Man.
Well, he can blink and it looks like he's breathing, plus it seems that he can give blood. But this is still a dummy, so if I wanted to actually engage with him, well, that would feel quite unnatural, and that's where the AR comes in. Once you pick up the tablet and you hold it over him,
Nurse, help me.
that 3D image recognition translates the dummy into a real person. And when you can see that distress, well, the whole situation certainly feels a lot more real.
And that's what the students here are finding. This app consists of varying setups that have been recorded by actors to put a person's face and an image of a person's distress in their mind.
It's getting worse. It's been bad all night. If you could just sit me up, I'd probably be a bit better, but oh dear.
Once the introduction has been made on the tablet, the mannequin can be remotely controlled from a computer to continue reacting in keeping with the scenario. Of course, live actors could be used, but the lecturers here believe that the recorded performances allow for a more cost-effective and consistent way of learning.
These students interact quicker and they interact more often with the mannequin, and what that does is let us look at the students and see how they talk, how they care, and how they provide compassion to the mannequins.
Even with 12 to 14 hour shifts commonplace and sometimes facing life or death situations, it's important the right level of care and compassion is maintained.
Nursing has its challenges, and when you're caring for a patient, particularly a deteriorating patient as our scenarios are around, it's not just about talking to somebody, it's about thinking about the technical skill that you're doing too.
We'll just pop this over your face.
And the students who've learnt this way felt it made the scenarios feel more realistic.
It's about engaging straight away. Once you're actually listening to the patient, you can look at the expressions on their face, their tone in their voice, so it enables you to empathise straight away, as opposed to a mannequin where you almost feel silly.
There could be other uses for this system too. For example, reports just this month suggest some healthcare workers could be missing vital clues in spotting asthma attacks.
We can use augmented reality to simulate what somebody actually looks like with asthma, because it's all right as a lecturer me saying, well, the patient's breathing quickly, they've got a wheeze, but what does that look like? They need to be able to see it.
So it seems the possibilities for Sim Man and many more of his alter egos are huge. Just be gentle with him.
All right.
Lara Lewington. Now, continuing with our health theme this week, Kate Russell's been doing the rounds and she's come up with some apps that could be good for all of us.
Eating well is an important part of staying healthy, and Food and Drink is a new app for Windows Phone that brings you delicious recipes, food news and nutritional information with a simple way to link it all back to a shopping list.
Link up with your Microsoft account and you can sync the data across multiple devices and share with friends and family, taking the stress out of getting your dining partner to pick up the right groceries on the way home.
Search for inspiration in a number of ways and build collections for later. These pages are picture-rich, which on one hand makes them mouth-wateringly irresistible, but slow to load if you're not on Wi-Fi. Gaming gets more social all the time, and a number of dedicated platforms exist to help you connect with like-minded enthusiasts. Playfire is among the best known, where you can set up a profile to track your statistics and meet other gamers to play with.
She's got a picture on the table of a man who is young and able.
But if you haven't signed up for a network yet, new kid on the block Player.me is very promising.
Like About.me, the popular profile landing page, Player.me wants to be your social gaming hub on the web, where you can link all your social accounts and league table pages, and other gaming fans can get in touch and follow your progress, chat and compare results.
What I like about this tool is that it automatically streams all of your updates from Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, for example, not just the ones posted to the platform. It is in invite-only beta right now, but we've secured a code to set up your own page. It is BBC Click. One of the great things about all social media is that it breaks down geographical boundaries and connects you with people all over the world. But how far afield do your Twitter connections stretch? Twitonomy will help you find out with a simple mapping tool.
It is absolutely fascinating seeing your map plot out. As Click is a global show, we have mentions coming in from all over the world. And my personal account was a little less exotic, but I have a lot of global connections through my gaming too. So it was still a fascinating experience. Once the animation is complete, you can click on the location markers to see who and what was tweeted.
To finish on a healthy theme, a mental health awareness app has been launched for veterans, which includes help and guidance on key mental conditions, as well as videos of veterans telling their own stories.
As I come off the back of the Chinook helicopter took off and my detonators exploded on me.
As well as being a great resource for veterans, it can help their friends and families recognise and offer help for any conditions they may be experiencing.
Kate Russell's Webscape, and if you'd like to suggest a site or app, you're more than welcome to do so. Email click@bbc.co.uk or tweet us at BBC Click. And just before we go, I found something which has been making waves online this week from the middle of the Pacific. This mesmerising website follows the migration tracks of different species of whales around the coasts of Hawaii. The data comes from a larger research project by American biologist Robin Baird, who's been studying marine mammal behaviour since the mid-80s.
You know, we spend 30 to 60 days on the water every year, and during any particular field project, we might, if we're lucky, we might tag 3 or 4 individual whales. So what the tags do, though, is that they give us the information on where the whales go when we're not with them. A lot of what they're doing is driven by what's going on obviously in the environment in terms of ocean currents. So integrating the current data that matches up with the whale movement data is going to be a really useful step. Part of what we're trying to do is educate people, but also part of what we're trying to do is inspire people and to get them interested in the animals in the first place. So I think if the web page does that, then it's definitely a success.
Fascinating stuff, and that really is it from us. If you'd like more though, you can go to our website anytime you fancy, bbc.co.uk/click. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.